Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everybody is having an amazing day. It is good to be alive, even in a chaotic world. It's always good to wake up 6 feet above instead of not waking up 6 feet below. Hope everybody's having a good day. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Christina, Christy, and Brittany, nice to see you folks in. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Every day when I wake up, I determine myself not to pay attention to the news so much, and yet I still do it every day. I'll learn someday, but this is not the day, apparently. Oh my goodness. Well, folks, hey, welcome in. Just wanted to thank you guys for popping in. Hey, Allison, nice to see you in. It's been a while since I've seen you. Good to see you in. Anyway, it's been crazy. There's a lot of crazy energy going on, and I wanted to have a conversation about this before we did any readings, before we did anything else. I wanted to have a conversation to let you know it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay, even there are times where I believe it's not going to be okay, but it's going to be okay. And this is what and to help ourselves get through the chaos, get through the drama, get through all the things that are happening. You know, the one thing that you should always remember is that ultimately we are here for a short period of time. You know, and so we will transition. It will happen eventually. We will transition, and this will be a mere blip in our history. And I'm blessed in the fact that I have been given the opportunity to grow and develop my mediumship gifts because it allows the opportunity to have communicated with people on the other side. And since I've communicated with people on the other side, I now have a really good understanding of what's over there and what's waiting for me when I get there, you know. And it's interesting because, you know, we turn to things such as faith and those kind of things. And I'm going to adjust my thing, so sorry about that. But I just noticed it's like really slipping. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, so I think Spirit's warning me, don't go here, but I'm going here. Okay. I'm giving the message that I was kind of called to give. And that is this, is that I really do have a much better feeling than I did about what's coming in front of me and those kind of things. It comes in front of all of us. And that's because, again, I've spoken to the spirits on the other side. And because they visit with me, and they visited with me in reference to the people they come in for, and also the people that they, you know, that they want to embrace or they want to help throughout their journey, the person's journey, you know, that kind of thing. And so it gives me peace knowing that this is, again, just a mere bump. You know, this is just it's a minor bump in the road. And so fascinating enough is that if you guys, if you haven't heard this yet, I think I've already mentioned this one or two times, but you know, at one time the Christianity, the religion of Christianity, until like 140 AD, Christianity believed in reincarnation. It was a tenet of their belief. And I know this is going to blow some heads off some Christians right now. Like, oh my God, that's blasphemy. It's not. Do the research, do your history. The problem is with a lot of us, we have these ministers, these preachers, these pastors who come into, and I said pastors, not the other word. They come into the pulpit, and sometimes they're woefully uneducated, or again, to use a word that we hear often enough and drives me crazy, indoctrinated. Because faith wants us to believe and live a certain way, that they train their ministers, their preachers, and so forth to have a certain belief system and a certain way of understanding how it worked. And again, some of them have the theology degrees, some of them don't. And the reality is most of them don't really understand the deep education. It's interesting. I was blessed that I went to Texas A&M which is a very conservative, very religious-based university in many ways in Texas, deep in the heart of Texas. I mean, it's like College Station, right in the center of Texas. But I took a history of religion class, and I found it quite fascinating, which then made me, good morning, Ray Lopez, and Shawana Foster as well, made me want to learn more about the history of religion, not just from one textbook, from actually information I learned. And so I went down that path to understand, how did we get here? How did religion come to be? How did we fall in line with some of these things? And so the one thing that I found, which was confirmed recently by somebody else whom I respect very much, was again a reminder that in 140 AD, the church felt they did not have the ultimate power over us, because what stick could they bring to smack us upside the head, to beat us, to get us into line, to make us fall in line? And remember, at this time, church and state were one. They were not two. Okay, our country is unique. Remember, we are only 200 and almost 250 years, 245, whatever it is now, 46. We are a unique experiment in the history of Western civilization, in the history of civilizations most of the time, because what happened before us was that church and state were one. And so the church aligned with the state aligned with the church, and together they fought. The church said, the state said, hey, we're moving in this direction. And the church fell in line and found the doctrine to support it, or created it. Because remember, up until the 14th century, most people couldn't read, write, or anything. They had to listen to the preachers, listen to the businessman, listen to the priests. And then they told them what everything was and how things were meant and so forth. They didn't have the ability to learn and to understand on their own. Down the road, when the printing press was finally down the road, when the monks were scribing, and wealthy people had more money, they could then buy the books, and then eventually the printing press comes along, and then we have a much more disseminated Bible and a much more disseminated reality in books. And nowadays, of course, it's like total freedom because of the social media platforms and because of the internet. We are reaching far beyond our grasp ever. So where I'm going with this is that we were initially told that we were going to be reincarnated. And in 140 AD, then the religious leaders realized, damn, we have a problem here, because now we can't hit them over the head with a stick, because they'll just say, hey, I can misbehave in this lifetime, and in the next lifetime, I'm going to be fine, and then I'll be good then. I'll be good then. And so the religious leaders are like, oh no, this is not working to our benefit. So we have to get rid of that the whole idea of reincarnation. And so they did. They moved away from reincarnation because it did not fit their needs, and it did not fit the government needs, because again, the government was the state. So with that said, I think it's fascinating to me, again, the indoctrination, or whatever you want to call it, that we have over time learned. And we learned, I mean, think about it. We went through a time where we were taught that the world, the universe revolved around the earth. And if you remember, Galileo Galilei spent the last part of his life under house arrest. Because he was very wealthy and because he was very respected, he was not killed, but he was spent his rest of his life under house arrest, and now he lays in a church in Florence. But because he said, based on scientific principle, that the universe, the world, does not, the universe, whatever you want to call it, everything does not revolve around the earth. When he made the prognosis, the hypothesis, and it would prove to be true, was that everything surrounded the globe actually circumnavigated the sun, and therefore we have these planets that have the sun at the heart of the universe. He was put under house arrest because that did not go with Christian doctrine. That did not go with Catholic teachings. And of course, again, the state put him. The church didn't put him under that restriction. The state put him under restriction because the state, again, was the church, and the church was the state. So folks, as I learned about history, as I learned about the history of religion, and you understand the fact of how unique we are, it's fascinating to me how now we have evolved to the point where we again have our own freedom to be able to read, to be able to analyze, to be able to pick what we believe and what we don't believe. We are still indoctrinated from birth and from TV, from everything that hits us. Everything that hits us is about Christianity. And you hear, I am not picking a fight with politics right now. This is not the intent of what this is. But I hear over and over again, oh my God, we are whatever, we're a Judeo-Christian nation. No, we are a nation built on Freemasons and on people who wanted to separate the two states, the religious state and the governing state. That's why we were created. That's why the people escaped to the states, to the colonies before it was the states. Because again, they wanted freedom from religion. They did not want the government to be a religious entity. They wanted the separation. And that was a big thing. And there's also the law about the rules about taxation and the complaints about taxation. I'm telling you, it's deeper than that. But we have been, even in this country, we have been told, oh, let's ignore that part of it and let's get back to just taxation, because that doesn't help our religious doctrine that much. And the religious folks, I'm telling you, they're. I'm not saying religion is bad. Don't get me wrong, but organized religion can be dangerous. And so when I am blessed to know the history of religion and then also to understand this, that, and the other, remember again that initially reincarnation was believed and taught. And if you look in many religions, numerous religions, reincarnation is a key to that religious faith. It's not just Christianity. So going back to where I started, for those who came in, what I'm talking about is that I'm blessed in the fact that I see a lot of craziness going on right now. And I see this tumultuous world we live in. And I see stupidity on the TV on a daily basis, if not more often, like hourly on the social media. But I can assure you that I have been blessed to connect with and tap into those people or those entities, those energies on the other side, especially our loved ones who've crossed over. And I've had the chance to talk with them and know what's over there. And when we are blessed enough to do that, it's amazing what's over there. It is nothing like what is over here. Nothing like what is over here. And so know that this is short term. This is a very small blip. When you are done and you shake off this coil, there will be something more. There is something more. And it could tie into what the religious folks once believed until they all decided it was not helpful to them. And therefore, let's go ahead and move away from this. But I'm telling you, when you understand how complex and how we only tap so little of our brain even to understand and get beyond this and to understand what we can do and what we are capable of, you will be immensely surprised. Okay. And so I will give you an example. When I had a chance to call in, I'm going to call them my spirit team. Okay. Everybody. And again, you don't have to believe me. I'm okay with that. You don't even have to try to understand if you don't want to. It's okay. But from my experience, I have what's called a spirit guide. I have spirit guides. I have a spirit team. I call them a spirit team because they're all my spirit guides. We all have them. And I'm told this from the spirit guides who are on the other side. Some of them are family members who crossed over. Some of them are other entities and energies and so forth. Some of them, that's her whole function, is to do this. And I have what's called a gatekeeper. My gatekeeper is the one spirit that is with me from birth to death. Again, from birth to death. They control the access that I have to my spirit guides and that my spirit guides to me, more so to my spirit guides to me, because my gatekeeper is they're like my symbiotic energy. Okay. In that sense, and in essence is they understand what I want. They understand what I need. And when I talk to them and say, hey, look, I'll give you an example. My gatekeeper knows that. And when I go to bed at night, my room is off limits to spirits unless I ask my gatekeeper or my spirit guides to go out and help me get some spirit that can help me with something, or if I need to do something or I want to connect to whatever, my gatekeeper will ensure that no spirits come into my room while I am sleeping. My gatekeepers, again, allow the access. They control the access. Good morning, Miss Angie. Good morning, Liliana. Good morning, Miss Susan and Melissa. So they control the access to me, and I love that. And so you have, whether you want to embrace them, believe in them, or whatever, it doesn't matter. You have a gatekeeper who controls access. If you let them, if you don't give them direction, then they try to do what is best for you, and they limit and they help you to deal with what you can deal with and what you can't deal with. But once you connect to them and once you have that relationship with them, then you can have them effectively work to give you a better experience with your spirit guides. And then your spirit guides, and any spirit, by the way, any spirit that comes at you, because they control access for any spirits. And then your spirit guides are those entities, they can be either angels, they can be archangels, they can be energies from another dimension, they can be energies from energies that have never taken physical form even, or have ever been on this plane or this planet or this dimension. They can also be, and often are, people who've crossed over. There are friends or relatives, and they may be relatives 2 and 3 ways back that you have never even met, but they are there. And I will give you an example in a minute, because I has actually had a visitation with a young man. And when he was talking about his spirit guide was his grandmother, his great-grandmother, and his great-grandmother had never met him, nor he had met her. And so it was interesting when I'm talking to him, and he had passed over because he came in to visit with his mom. And I'm talking to the mom, and the mom can't believe that the son would have a spirit guide of her grandmother, which is his great-grandmother. She could not believe that conversation could take place, or that relationship could take place, because he never met her, because she had passed before he came. And I was trying to explain that their timeline is not the same timeline as ours, okay, which is wonderful. So when you have your spirit guides, you may have spirit guides that are 2-3 generations back that you have never met, but because of your familiar relationship, or because you maybe have reincarnated with them in previous lives or in previous situations, or you yourself may have acted as a spirit guide when you were back on the other side, and before you came back to this side. So when you were over there, you may have acted as a spirit guide to them. And so you may be tangled with them. When we talk about soulmates, again, it's interesting. Soulmates are those energies who you have reincarnated with, usually over and over and over again. And it's interesting too, because when we talk about soulmates, hey, Miss Julie, hey, Michelle, nice to see you in. KK, nice to see you in as well. When we talk about those kind of things in soulmates and reincarnation, the reality is that when you're soulmates, and again, I think people overuse that very much. I really do. And I kind of cringe when somebody says that word, even to a degree, because I wonder what their knowledge base is, how they define soulmate. Okay. And what I'm talking about in soulmate, and how I see soulmate, is an entity or energy. And again, usually is a person who comes back. They come back, and you and they are simpatico, and you come back over and over and over again with them. Now, the funny part, again, with soulmates is we think, oh my God, I've loved them in a lifetime before, and we were together as husband and wife, and husband and wife, husband and wife, or husband and husband, husband and husband, wife, whatever you want to. However, the point is that no, that really isn't. That isn't the way that soulmates work. With soulmates, they can be in this lifetime with you as your significant other, or they can be a brother, a sister, a mother, a best friend, whatever. And in the next life, and not the next one as in next in line, but when you reincarnate maybe 2-3 down, they come back, but they may be back as some other relationship to you. They could also be the same relationship to you. My point is that a soulmate is there in your lifetimes repeatedly, and you connect, and they're part of your lifetime experience, and you know them, you've experienced them again in the past, but they're not necessarily, I won't say never, they're not necessarily in the same role. So you're not really I've never found one yet who has always been a spouse, 2 of them spouses, every lifetime. That this never happened. I've never seen it happen. When I've met with spirits and I've talked to them, and they talked about, hey, this person is my soulmate. And again, even when they tell me that, if a spirit tells me that, I have a much more comfortable feeling. But I ask the spirit to kind of define what it is they're explaining to me, because again, I cringe at that word soulmate, only because it's so overused. Okay. And so where I'm going with this is that when you talk to your spirits and spirit guides, they are from a whole plethora of opportunities and things. So what I'm saying is that I have been blessed, thank goodness, with my mediumship abilities to connect to the other side from this side and have the conversations. And folks, believe me, it's beautiful over there. It is beautiful over there. There is not this pressure to be. There is not this pressure to achieve. There is not this pressure to have to prove yourself. There's no pressure on having to be something you are not. And most importantly, the love over there is genuine and real, and it flows in a very different way. Okay. First and foremost, because of the way we think, we put things in a physical form. Okay. And so we see a physical person. But over there is no physical. Okay. Over there, we're energy. And so when we see what they see, they're sending us a picture. They send us a picture so we can be relative. We can understand it because it's our relativity. But again, we shake off this coil. This is only the coil for this period of time. Once this is gone, their energy is gone. And I will give you an example, and it's from my book. Let me put the book out there. And I'm sorry about that. There's a thing here to help me keep this little dot from being on top of this thing. And so sorry about that. Anyway, that's what this is. So this is my book, The Ultimate Power Within, Unleashing the Magic of Affirmations. And in the book, I talk about this. Okay. We are energy. We are energy. Energy is not destroyed. It's not created. Never created, never destroyed. Now it changes form, whatever, but it does not change. It is not created, not destroyed. And so if you were to take an ohm meter or a voltmeter and you put it between your two fingers, you will see some play. You will see that energy exists while we are in this coil, right? And then as soon as we die, if they do the same thing, you put the two leads to your body, there is zero energy, zero activity, just dead like this. And of course, you get that with the EKGs, you know, when you see the same thing. The point is that it was energy. Energy created that. Energy created that movement. Energy created that. And then it stops. So again, we know energy doesn't destroy. It doesn't get created. It doesn't get destroyed. So it has to move. It has to move on. It transmutes, right? And that's my argument here. That's my point here, is that is our spirit. That is our soul. That is the essence. And so when that energy, when we get the flat line, we all going to get there. You know, there's one thing guaranteed. We all going to see that flat. We're not going to see it, but we're going to hit the flat line. Okay. Once we hit that flat line, I assure you, your energy, from what I have experienced from the wonderful souls on the other side who have shared with me their wonderful experiences, we then are energy and we head back. We head back to the energy dimension, okay? And we are there. And you can call that heaven. If that is in your paradigm, I say yes, absolutely. If that's what you, again, because we all can call it whatever, but is that next step for us? And so in religion, in Christianity, and a lot of religions, they say going to heaven or going to wherever. That is where you're going, to that next place. True enough. And I do believe that. Again, I'm not picking arguments with that. What I'm picking argument with is the fact of reincarnation that used to be part of the Christian tenets of faith until 140 AD, when the religion said no. So with what we're going through now, and I've really gotten off a track, but I had to give some, and y'all know I'm an attorney. I can't help myself. I got to go deep into explaining, because I really wanted you to understand when you have this conversation with someone else, and I believe that you will, when you have a conversation with somebody else and you try to help them understand, again, how we can process and how we can move forward and how we can deal with stuff. I really wanted you to be able to understand have a deeper understanding. So therefore, when you make the conversation or argument and they come at you and say, well, what about this? And you can say, I can do your whataboutism. We can sit here all day. Did you all see this? Did you all see? There are spirits flying around here, and I'm not. You all saw it. I hope. I don't know, because I haven't seen that. I go back and I watch it, but this is at 24:42. So about 24:40, I saw this one, and about 30 seconds ago, there was something over here. Anyway, sorry, I get distracted, because when the energies are high, I'm talking about, again, that veil. And so when energies are high, you'll see some things flying around, and I'm hot as hell. So it's a male. There's a male spirit here, but I am getting distracted. So I'm going to put them on park. Okay. Anyway, so my key is this: know that this is a blip in history. We need to stay vigilant. We need to stay active. We need to make sure that we continue to ensure that our country, if you're in the US, is indeed church and state separation, because that's not a healthy situation. No matter what political spectrum you're on, it's just not healthy, because we fought 200 and almost 50 years ago to ensure that we would have this separation of church and state. But the good part is that no matter what you believe, because our church and state are separated, you can have the openness to understand and think about what happens if. And so, again, I'm peering in, and as I peer in, folks, over there is amazing. Again, no judgment. You don't have to, you're not competing. You're not, it's like every energy is energy. Energy is energy. And those energies and those sources of energy over there come over to us, and they serve as our spirit guides. And so, again, if they are from a different dimension that has never even been on this universe, that doesn't mean they're not here. The division is not of God. Absolutely. In my opinion, I agree. I'm 100% Queen. So sorry, I was distracted because that caught my attention. But when they come over, they give willingly to help you. So as you work through your life, as you're trudging through your life, and while you're celebrating the good and while you're navigating the rough, okay, make sure that you open your mind to the fact that you are not alone, that you are embraced by a team of spirits who have lived over and over again, some of them who may have lived with you over and over again. And you, being of this world, are not able to remember initially that you were part there and that you've lived over and over again. And so they help you to remember this, okay? And I absolutely implore you to know that you will get through anything here, because anything you go through here is going to be infinitesimal in what's going to be the long-term road for you and your spirit. Okay. Now, with that said, I would love to remind everyone right now, I'll let you guys know, this world is freaking chaotic, and we all know that. And the astrologers have talked about how we have the planets aligning, which is once in a lifetime, once in many lifetimes, because again, this is something that's going to happen not only for another, 250, 300 years. I mean, and it hasn't happened for 250, 300 years. With all of these things that are happening, with all of these crazy, chaotic things that are happening, and with all of these alignments, the veil is what I call, what most metaphysical people call, a veil separates this world from the other world, the energy world, the God, the spirit, the heaven, whatever you want to call it. The separation is by a veil, okay? And that's why we call it the veil. And so in this kind of energy, because we are all, if you haven't felt it, then take a few minutes and try to connect, and you'll see the energy is high. Right now, we're all kind of working on high energy. Well, that means our vibrations are high. And when your vibrations are high and you're working at a high vibrational energy, the spirits already live in a high vibration. So we as a world right now are living in a higher vibration than we have done so before. Okay. So again, our higher vibration level, we are pinging. We are, and as we ping higher, then we are closer now to their level of energy, and which means we are now more able to talk to them, because again, we're tapping across that veil, because again, we are so close to their energy level. And to talk to spirits, the energy level has to be high. High vibrational level is what, when you sync with your high vibrational level, that's what brings you into that connection. So right now is the best time in the world. Even if you felt like, oh, I can never talk to the other side, I don't know how. Oh, I just can't talk to my spirit guides. I can't do this. I can't connect to the person. My mom, my dad, my brother, my sister passed over. I can't communicate with them. Now is the perfect time. I mean, the timing could not be better than now to have that conversation with the other side. This is that moment in time. This may be the only moment that you have an opportunity. And I'm not saying moment as in minute. I'm saying moment as in period of time, brief period of time, because of all that we're going through, and because the world is just right there at that high vibrational level. We are so close. So we can talk and we may get responses. We may get responses. Now, how do you do it? Quite simply this. You quiet your mind the best you can, and you just speak to them like you're speaking to me, or like I would speak to you. And I'll give you an example. I'm like, if I need to, I'm like, hey, Dad, my father crossed over. So I'm like, hey, Dad, if you have a few minutes, I would like to speak to you about something, or I need some clarity on something, And I would say, Dad, can you help me with this? And in a day or two, if not sooner, I'm not surprised if my dad comes in and has a conversation with me. Often what happens is that he'll come through at night. And when I have that conversation, when I say, Dad, can you come through? My spirit, but my gatekeeper, who is again Emily will allow him to come through at night, even though she knows no spirits in my room at all at night. She will allow him to come in and have the conversation with me because I've asked him in, I've called him in, so she knows that he's allowed to come through. Okay, and I will give you an example which really helped me too. In 2022, my dad came to me on a Monday night. And again, he has carte blanche. Emily knows if he comes through, there's no stopping him. He can come through anytime he wants because he's my dad. And he's never been anything more than a positive, warm, wonderful light on the other side, and has helped me continuously. So my dad came through on a Monday and a Thursday. I'm almost certain it was a Monday and Thursday, and 2 different days in 1 week. And he told me, sell my business. And so Friday morning, I was getting ready to visit my mom the following week. And on that Friday morning, my mom called me and she says, hey, Donnie, how are you? I'm like, fine. We're talking. And she goes, I wanted to tell you something. And she said, I know of all the kids, you're the one who's not going to think I'm crazy. And she said, but your dad came to me. And she always says your dad. It's funny because she doesn't say my husband or whatever. She's like your dad. I love that because it's like I love knowing she always can it's your dad. I love that, right? Anyway, and there's something about that. I just don't know. It's like like not my husband or not whatever. It's your dad. And so your dad came to me and she came and I said that what and she said he came to me on Monday and then he came to me last night and he told me sell my house. Now my mom had passed on about 4 years, 4 years before this. And my mom had been keeping the house, but it had been a little, it got dicey because of things, the deferred maintenance and other things, and a single woman in a very hostile, environment because where she lives, the winters are harsh, and it takes a beating on the houses. And so anyway, so when she said that, she said, I know you're not crazy. And I said, Mom, of course I'm not crazy because I heard the same thing. And my dad came to us both on the same days, both same evenings. We both got visited with my dad, and he told her to sell. He told me to sell, and we did sell. And I will tell you, we listened because he came through and we were open. He did an amazing thing for us because we both got contracts. I got 3 contracts on my business. My mom got a contract on her house instantaneously. I mean, within a week, it was already undersealed, and it was full price, cash offer, no inspections, the golden ticket of real estate. And she had a rural property of 5 acres with a septic and a well and all. They did not. They waived everything, inspection, everything waived. We get to closing Friday. We were supposed to both close on the same day, which is crazy, right? We were supposed to close on Fridays. On Wednesday before Friday, the Fed increased the rates first. And you can look at the history. Go back, March 2022. What I'm telling you is history. It's documented. The Feds increased the interest rates for the first time. And from that point on, those rates went up. And as those rates went up, the value of housing stabilized or some of it went down. Because guess what? People couldn't get the notes they were before, and things weren't selling like they were before. And so we both cashed out. My mom got about double what she thought she would get for that house. I got out a hell of a lot of money on our business, and it was a wonderful thing to be getting out of it at that time. And if we had not, the chances are we may not have gotten out or have gotten out at where we did. So, and I think the statistics prove that out, and so the good part is that we cashed out, moved on, and it was because of that spirit veil and us listening to my dad and him coming over and us being prepared. And see, my mom is very open to him coming over. She always, when she's not feeling well, she says, Robert, I need your help. And that's my dad's name. And he'll come over and he soothes her. He gives her that peace. And so thank goodness my mom has always been open to the veil, always been open to having that energy, never having a problem with reaching out over there. And my dad has come through for her and brings her peace and tranquility. So we have a conversation about him often. My dad will come through and visit me often. This is the conversation you can have. I'm not special. My mom's not special. Well, I am special because I'm me, but I'm just kidding. What I'm saying is we all have this amazing ability if we just open ourselves to it. And right now, in this time in history, the veil is so thin and we are so close because our energies are so here that, and again, remember, their energies are high already. That's that, but you have to raise yours. And the world's energy right now is like this. So you can reach out now and talk to your loved ones over there. You can talk to your spirit guides. Quiet your mind, find a peaceful place. One of the things, these are a few different options I will give you as ways in which you can do this yourself, okay? And if you were watching last night, by the way, if you were watching last night, Angie and I went live. And during our live, a father came in and amazingly enough, the father, I mean, he came in and I didn't know who he was here for. He told me his name and he says he's here. And he gave me a criteria. And sure enough, it wasn't one, but two women in the, on the chat, 2 women were there for the first time and they were sisters. These 2 sisters who never came in before, ever come in before, they came in last night to the chat. They didn't know why they were drawn to the chat, but they were. And while they were in the chat, the father came in. And so it was amazing. And it was a bit confusing because I'm trying to think, he's talking to both of them and he's talking about this one and then talking about this one. And we're trying to track it and so forth. But we're having this wonderful conversation with a father who had left. I think if I remember right, he showed me a 2002. So he like died in 2002, right? But he needed to talk to them and he directed them to come to this chat. On that night, they had never come to the chat. They were new. They even told us, they're like, I said, we don't recognize you. You guys are new. And yeah, you're new. And yet on that night, he came through because he brought them here and they heard him. They couldn't hear him clearly tell them what they needed to hear. So he said, I'm going to bring you in. I'm going to nudge you guys to come on, get in that chat. And then he himself showed up so where he could communicate with them. And he was telling us all kinds of information. So again, folks, they're finding ways to reach out to you. The veil is thin, reach out in return. So what I would suggest, if first thing, and is if you'd like to talk to your spirit guides or your loved ones, I prepared a guided meditation. And the guided meditation allows you to go through, you follow through the meditation. Let me change this to classic. And so here, get down here 1 second, sorry. So it's out of the way here. This meditation, and it's free. It's out there on YouTube. You just look up it under Sonoran Mystic Tarot and then you just go look for this meditation. It's out there. It's 30 minutes long and it walks you through the process of centering yourself, getting your chakras lined up and getting ready to communicate with your spirit guides. And when you, and so it may take 2 or 3 times for you to do this meditation, but once you get the visualizations down and once you are no longer, and some people are just so tired, they need rest and the meditation allows the rest, but anyway, so this meditation will allow you to speak to your spirit guides. And I also did a meditation as I'm stalling here. This one is for your loved ones who crossed over. So you can use the same meditation to have a conversation with someone who's crossed over if you can't have the conversation like I can connect. And not all of us can at our levels, but we can get our level there. Because once you do this meditation a few times, after you've done the meditation a number of times, you won't have to do the meditation anymore because you can visualize and put yourself, because you'll recognize and you'll know, you remember again, your muscle memory will take you back to that space, that safe space, that space that you create. And then you'll go back to it quickly and you don't have to go through the whole process anymore. And you'll be able to speak to those who crossed over and to speak to your spirit guides. And this is wonderful. And so I would suggest anybody who's interested, do these meditations. They are super important and they will help you, especially at this time. Now, if you don't have time for meditation or this doesn't work for you, another option I would strongly suggest is to get a thin tapered candle. Okay. The reason why I say thin and tapered, because the candle should not be of interest or any visual impact at all. It's just there. Okay. Because you're not paying attention to the candle. So you light the candle, you create a dark space, a quiet space where you're not bothered, and you give yourself 5 minutes. So this is a 5-minute per day for at least 7 days exercise. And the first 2 days are going to be extremely difficult. I will give you that. And I'll explain why that is in a minute, but I'm giving you the heads up. You're going to sit there in a quiet space. You're going to set your alarm clock or your phone or whatever to 5, and then put it down and make sure it doesn't do anything except for buzz when 5 minutes is up. So again, silence, no vibration, nothing. And then you're going to stare at that candle, and you're going to stare at that flame. And it's going to flicker a little bit if there's, if there's a little breeze in the room or whatever. And you are going to stare solely at that flame for 5 minutes. I promise you, after the 30 seconds, you're going to say, guys, have 5 minutes yet? Oh man, I wonder if, did I turn that off? What can I do next? You need to keep your focus on the candle's flame and block out all of those noises. Block out all those conversations, all those things where your mind is now doing, and you're going to realize, it's amazing how once you do this exercise and you start doing this exercise, you're going to be amazed at how much you multitask. You may think you don't multitask. I'm telling you, this exercise will show you you do, because your mind is thinking, I'm doing this, but I can do this. And what about this? And what about this? What about this? And you have to shut them all down. You got to say, nope, 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 back to the flame, back to the flame. Nope, 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 back to the flame. How about this? Nope, back to the flame. It is so hard. It is so hard for the first 2 to 3 times. It is extremely difficult. And as you do it further and further into the week, it gets easier, because now you're realizing, wait a minute, I am now controlling my mind. You see, your mind is controlling you. Your mind is running even when you tell yourself, oh, I don't want it to run. Oh, you have no choice. You have no choice. It is running, and you have to catch up and keep up, okay? But I'm telling you, it's fascinating how once you do this a few days in, you'll start getting total control. You're getting control. And then by the 5th or 6th day, you have control. So by the 7th day, you should be able to at least go 5 minutes without that. And do not be surprised if, because you have learned, so when this is by the 7th day, 8th day, and again, you go into the 2nd week with this, you're not even actively trying to focus on the flame anymore. Because when you are there and that flame is moving, your mind's not wandering. You're just saying, hey, I'm at peace. I'm at peace. I am good. I'm good. And then again, as that thing moves a little bit, you now in the flame, do not be surprised if a face appears. And yeah, if you need to put on Pampers so you don't poop yourself, maybe that's a good thing. Because it will shock you. It will shock you, okay? And so as you start doing that, you may see a face in the flame. You may see behind the flame some activity. You may see a person. You may see some sparkling. You may see orbs flying around. You may see, you may hear. Instead of seeing, you may all of a sudden hear someone talk to you. And it may be your father or your mother or your brother or sister on the other side. And you're like, I recognize that voice. And then listen, because if you may sense a smell, you may sense a smell. Okay. If your eyes don't see it, if your ears don't hear it, you may sense a smell. And you're like, wow, I smell, oh my God, that's my mom's apple pie. That's my dad's greasy hands when he used that hand soap to clean his hands because he was a mechanic. It's that's my, it's any of those sensations, right? Or you get a taste, a flavor. Wow. Oh my gosh, I'm tasting my grandmother's square cookies, her molasses cookies. Man, that's interesting. It's not interesting. They're there. They're talking to you. They are responding to you and communicating in a way in which you are receiving. So they may have tried this and it didn't work. They may have tried this and it didn't work. They may have tried this, but under here in this taste, all of a sudden you can taste it. So they're there and they're saying, hey, I'm here. Don't be surprised if in the same time, and this will freak you out because you will jump when this happens, you feel a hand on your shoulder, or you feel like something like this. Like if I have an aunt, a wonderful, lovely aunt. And when she passed away, the wonderful thing that she would do for me is when I would go visit her, And y'all, if you've been around a while, you know who I'm talking about. I would sit down beside her, and she'd be in this chair. This was her chair. And she'd sit there in the chair, and she's like, oh, my Donnie. And I would sit down beside her on the floor, and she would reach over and she would play with my beard. Now, she's the only one, except for my better half, who, and my kids can get away with it too, but they don't do it. But anyway, but she's the only one who could play with my beard. And she did. She would play with my beard. And I loved that of her. So when she comes in, I will not be surprised if at one point she's playing with my beard, and that lets me know. And it's interesting because that has happened once already. I was sitting there and I was doing something, and I got the message that her sister had passed. This was 2 months later, and all of a sudden I got this, and I'm like, God, well, oh, it was interesting. I'm like, oh, so my aunt was telling me it's okay. She's with her. And that was cool. So don't be surprised if you get a feeling, a touch or something, the way that someone used to touch you and give you that feeling of comfort. Don't be surprised if it happens. This is the time, if ever you wanted to reach out to your spirit guides, to the person on the other side, this is the time to do it. And I'm giving you the keys to the castle because I've given you the 5-minute per day exercise. When you do the exercise, by the way, do it the same time every day. It's like making an appointment with your spirit guides and saying, hey, I want you all to come in. So I'm going to do this every day at this hour so you guys can schedule me in. And again, if you want to do the loved ones, this is that meditation for the loved ones, to go up there and visit with the loved ones, and or do the exercise I talked about. There are many other ways to do it. But no matter what, do me this favor, no matter what, when you communicate with the folks on the other side, have a conversation like I'm talking to you. Don't think of it only. It doesn't work that way. I know this is how Hollywood has us thinking all these wonderful things. And there are people who may work that way. But I'm telling you, the spirits, speak to them. Speak to them like I'm speaking to you. Talk to them. And you will, I promise you, you will feel uncomfortable the first few times. You're thinking, people are going to think I'm crazy. I lost my mind. I'm talking to nobody. I'm talking to the air. You're not talking to the air. You're talking to something you can't see. But when you talk to God, when you talk to your deity, when you talk to your anxiety, when you say, I'm just mad, and you say it out loud, it's the same thing. You're speaking it. So speak to your spirit guides, speak to your past loved ones, speak to those folks who are there supporting you, just like you're speaking to me. And also thank them. Thank them for being there. Thankfulness is wonderful. Thank them for being there. Thank them for giving you the opportunity to know that they're there. Thank them for helping you, that kind of stuff. And then, with the thankfulness and the mindfulness, don't be surprised if you, again, get the responses and assurances, okay? Ask them for help. Ask them for help if you need help. If you are having problems with a legal question, then ask your spirit guides to go out and bring you an attorney who can answer the legal question. Ask them to go out and help you to find that attorney. Help you find the advice. And don't be surprised if while you are asleep, you have dreams from an attorney who comes in and gives the information you need. Or don't be surprised that when you wake up, the spirit guides have lined you up with something. You open your phone up and all of a sudden there's an email or there's something about an attorney, and this attorney is great for this. And you're like, holy crap, that's what I asked for. Again, they do respond, and they don't always respond in the ways we would hope, but they do respond, and they try to help you if it's in your best interest. And they even nudge you when it's not. They tell you, hey, you gotta, maybe not that way, maybe not that way. And sometimes, unfortunately, we don't listen. And that happens often. And sometimes when they're nudging us and saying, this is not good for you, we don't listen. And so we do it anyway. And then we push forward and like, hey, I'm giving you a warning. And so they send you a stronger warning because they maybe put a roadblock. And you're like, I'll just overcome that roadblock because I'm going to do what I want to do. Free will works, not a problem. But don't worry. Don't be surprised because if you go too far and it's not in your best interest, Spirit will let you know. And I'm going to let Valerie Bertinelli share this with you because she says it in a way that I absolutely adore.
So when I started on this healing journey, about 2 years ago, my life was like really unmanageable and I got shut. You know how the universe or God kind of like taps you on the shoulder, you don't listen, kind of gives you a little push, you don't listen, shoves you to your knees, you still don't listen. I got shoved on my ass.
There you go. She said it better than I could. I give her absolute credibility for that. And because that is true. Okay. So again, I'm asking you, if you have ever wanted to communicate. First of all, more importantly, know that we're a blip here. So don't let the anxiety get to you. Don't become so overwhelmed that you feel you can't navigate, because again, this is only a blip. Once you're out of this energy, once you're out of this environment and your spirit has moved on, your energy over there is going to live on consistently. And it is a wonderful space. And know that there's nothing to be afraid of over there. So there's no reason to be afraid of making that transition. And there's no reason except our personal selfish, which is not a bad thing, our selfish reasons for missing the loved ones who cross over. But know that they are in a great place. They have moved on. And you can, the religious folks, come on, let me have it. Hit me with the hell versus heaven shit. I'm telling you, I did not see that. I do not see that. And we can have a long conversation, but you're not going to hell. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm sorry with professional religions who want to make sure that you get those coffers filled, paying for your way to heaven. You're not paying for your way to heaven. You're paying for them to have their 15,000 square foot mansions and their Lamborghinis and their planes like Heggie has or like Osteen has. Okay. Again, I'm attacking organized religion, not religion itself. So again, know that you're going to a great place, no matter what. You're going over there, and you're not going to hell. So don't be afraid of the hell, because it just that paradigm doesn't exist with what I have seen. You have your own paradigms and you have your own experiences, so you go with what you're comfortable with. But I'm telling you, from what I've seen, no. It doesn't make sense. Energy doesn't work that way. Okay, so have this opportunity. You have an amazing opportunity. We've never seen the universe like this in a long, long time. In my lifetime, I'm not sure I've ever seen this. And so again, that veil is very, very close. Take advantage, reach out, talk to your loved ones, connect with your loved ones. And then once you do, please come back and share with me if you've had that experience. Share with me what you've experienced. Share with me that, hey, I did connect and I got this or I got this. Okay. And again, please, folks, don't expect Hollywood. Okay. This is real. This is real life. This is not Hollywood. And I don't blame Hollywood, because they try to sell, they have to sell a product, and so they do it sensational. But don't expect calling your let's say your parent, your mom crossover, and you're like, oh, mom, can you come in? Boof, there she is. And she's like a commercial. Boof, all of a sudden she's there, like Endora from Bewitched, and she's like, my dear, how can I help you? And you're like, that's not my mom. That's not even the way she talks. What the hell is this? It's like, what? No, I'm serious. Don't be asking for Hollywood, but instead listen to your many senses and allow your many senses, whichever one is connecting most with you, to communicate to you, and pay attention to the little things as well as the big, because often we look for the big flash, and instead we're here and there's a little bit of a tweak here, or there's a little bit of a whatever here. And again, it's that touch, it's that taste, it's that vision, it's that hearing. Say you're in the car and you're frustrated. And you're like, gosh darn it, I feel so alone right now. I just wish somebody would understand. And all of a sudden, the song Easy Loving from Freddie Hart comes on the radio. There is only one reason in my life why that song comes on the radio, because it is so old and it doesn't play on the radio anymore. And yet it has happened twice. And at both times, it's my dad, because he sung that for my mom. So anytime I'm thinking about my dad and my mom, or something about my mom, my dad will come through and he's like, she's good, or I've got this. And so he'll play that song. Only twice have I ever called out like that. And on both occasions, because I was worried about my mom, and I'm like, I need to know what's going on here. And on the 2 occasions I've done it, both times Easy Loving came on the radio. And it's like, wait a minute, that song just never plays. It's not in rotation. Freddie Hart, who knows him, right? Believe it. It happens. So be open to the way in which they communicate. Okay. Wow. I really went long there, didn't I? Sorry about that. But I just want to have the conversation, because again, let's take the opportunity. Okay. Let's take the opportunity. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, welcome in again, everybody. I appreciate y'all sticking around. Let's get to some readings. We're going to do some quick reads today. We are not going to do some, hey, Kelly Dix, nice to see you in. Is it that cold there, Kelly? Because I think you were telling me that you were looking at maybe negative 22 Celsius or something today. Is that right? Kelly says, hope everyone's feeling love today. Absolutely. I love Kelly always brings the energy. She always brings energy. I love it. So let's get to it. We're going to do some quick reads. Again, I'm going to leave this up, but I'm going to bounce it off of another one because I'm also wanted to tell you some good news before we get doing the readings. Again, I just clicked in my head. I was blessed to be interviewed by a podcaster yesterday and about the book, which is right here, The Ultimate Power Within, Unleashing Magic Affirmations. It will be the podcaster's interview will come out next month, March. And as you guys know, that's the first year anniversary of the publication of the book. And so I put it back there. This is available on Amazon. And the cool part about the book is that, again, 1 year anniversary. But remember, on the first day it was released on Amazon, it was ranked the #1 new release on Amazon. A national or international company had my book as the #1 for one day as the #1 new release, which blew me away because I am an independent publisher. I published this on my own. I didn't go through these big publishing companies, and those big publishing companies, they can run the numbers to get you as #1. I didn't have that freedom or that luxury, I guess you would call it. But I still wound up there. And it was you guys. You all made that possible because you all jumped online and you bought that book from me. And I truly, truly appreciate it. So I'm going on the 1 year anniversary. And so it's interesting how the podcaster reached out to me and said, hey, I want to do an interview about you. What would you like to talk about? I like to talk about metaphysical when I heard about your book and whatever. And so we did the interview yesterday. She's going to get it cleaned up and whatever. And then she has me on the rotation in March. And I told her, you won't believe it, but that makes good sense because I've been talking about how can I get prepared for the 1 year anniversary? And she kind of opened that door for me. See, Spirit, listen, Spirit opened the door for me because I said, Spirit, how can I do this? How can I figure out a way to, talk about it and get it back out there to get attention to it for the 1 year anniversary? And they delivered. So again, I listened and they listened and they came through. I love it. So with that said, let's get back. I'm going to pop up the meditation thing one more time, but I had to get that in there. I got to do it. Had to do it. And there are 3 meditations, by the way, that are online. They're all 3 guided meditations. One is for your gatekeeper specifically, if you want to meet your gatekeeper. The other one, of course, is for your spirit guides. And then this one is for the loved ones. So if you want to reach out to your loved ones, communicate with them, again, this is the time to do it. Let's get back to it. I'm going to do quick round draws. And so I'm going to draw 1, 2, or 3 cards, depending on what energy I have for you. They will not be in depth. These readings will not be in depth. Sorry about that. They're going to be, hey, Cookie Victoria, hey, Harley, hey, Letty, and KK. Nice for you guys to pop in. We're going to do quick round drawings. And so what I want to do is I'm not going to go back through and see each of the people that are here. What I would ask, though, is if you are here and you would like a reading, just let me know. And when I see you pop up, as you pop up, I will call on you. And then once I move on, again, I'll keep doing that over and over again, okay? So let me know when you are, if you want a reading, let me know and say, hey, me, I'm not answering specific questions. I'm not answering who who loves, who doesn't love, any of that stuff. All I'm doing is giving you whatever the universe wants you to read and know. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I love that. Miss Bonnie says, hey, these numbers do not add up. There are 20 people in the chat, but only 12 likes here. Please like, share, subscribe. Absolutely. Love that, Miss Bonnie. 12. There are 20 on the view. So let's bring those numbers around. I'd appreciate it. Love, like, share, and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. So let me get back here. The first one to pop up was Cecilia Garcia. Yes, Cecilia, this one's for you. I'm going to draw 3 cards. I mean, the intent is to draw 3 cards, and then if there's less or more, I'll let you know. Cecilia. Okay, Cecilia, I'm told to change decks with you, my dear. So you didn't get the Imperious deck. You got the healing deck. But Cecilia, apparently there's some healing needed. And this is a wonderful deck. I love this. This is the Healing with the Angels deck. It is my ultimate favorite deck. This is my favorite reading deck. But this is my ultimate favorite deck. I love this deck, and I could actually use it as a tarot deck and be very comfortable with that. So let me see why Spirit is having me change it for you. Ooh, whoa. Okay. I need to get some tape because this thing's plucking my nerves as it keeps falling off. Sorry about that, folks. When you see that fall off, it's because I have a little thing that, see the little dot that's right here? It's a glow. It's a glare from one of the lights, and it is a pain in the butt. But I put something over it, and it was it used to be there, and then I sometimes have my son sit at my desk, and by moving so forth, it comes off, and so I need to tape it back on because anyway, more information than you needed to know. Let's see what you got for Cecilia. Okay, Cecilia, it's good. You're coming through this. You're emerging through. You've been through it. This is telling me when you see the emerging card, it's like you've gone through a bit of the ringer, and you have you were beaten down, and you felt like, again, drained, and I get this feeling, like great energy of just coming through, and you're coming through. You're emerging in a better space than you have been in a long time. So know that right in front of you, things are getting so much better, and that, again, the brightness is there. Get out in nature, spend more time in nature, Cecilia. Make sure you get your feet into the grass, you get your feet into dirt, get your feet into water. Make sure that you're grounding, you're spending more time outside. Nature gives you a connection. You specifically are strongly connected to energy. You like to go walking, you like to go whatever, and this is saying get out and spend time in nature. It's going to help you with this, and it's going to help you balance yourself, balance your energies. So know that, again, you've been out of balance for quite a while. You're emerging into a more balanced time, a more time when things tend to make more sense, because for a while they seemed out of whack and not quite lined up with your senses. And I get the feeling like that is now finally passing through. And I love this. Remember this, Cecilia, your angel that's with you, Archangel Michael. He is with you. He's walking your path with you, and he will help you. You are never alone, my dear. He is with you, and he is helping you to navigate your journey through this life. Okay. So know that you said, I lost my baby in May 2024 and almost lost my 5 months after. Truly, yeah, absolutely. There you go. I totally get that. And that's what they're saying. So Cecilia, get out there in nature. Make sure you're spending time out in nature. Make sure that you're getting your feet in the dirt to ground yourself. You're finding that balance. Make sure that you are finding thankfulness. Make sure you're finding thankfulness for the things that you have. And almost lost your mom 5 months ago after that. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's rough. But again, it's turning. You're not going to be facing the same challenges. You're not going to be facing, again, the universe is shifting for you. And that's why the healing cards, it makes so much sense why you get the healing cards, because right here. Yeah, this took a beating. It took a beating. Yeah. And the logic is there, but the heart is like, wait a minute, this is not why. And why, right? So I get it. Thank you for sharing that energy with us. Thanks for letting us tap that energy. I truly appreciate it, but know that you have come through it, and what's ahead of you is far better than what was behind, in that sense. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Thank you again, Cecilia. Appreciate that. Jimmy Josh. Yes. Let me pop you a card here. Jimmy Josh. Jimmy Josh, you're upside down right now. Hey, Gwyneth, nice to see you. And you're upside down right now, Jimmy Josh. I don't know if this is a polarity situation. You are out of whack. You are out of sync. Okay. You need to get something changed. You need to get something shifted. If I were you, I would be doing some kind of chakra alignment. The first part of this meditation and all the rest, that first part is a chakra alignment. You need a chakra alignment. You are out of, again, this is wonderful. And this is the opposite. This is, again, you're out of sync. You are out of, you're just like it's interesting. It's like if you were to watch my video, and then all of a sudden you see the words you see my mouth moving and the words are opposite. It's out of sync, and that's where I'm feeling you are. You need to catch up. So you need to get yourself aligned. Jimmy Josh, I would be spending time on getting myself connected to the energies around. I would also be doing, like I told you with Cecilia, is to get in the energy into the nature. I would be putting my feet into water, into grass, into dirt, and I would be letting go of so much energy right now. I would be flooding the zone with new energy, because you got to get rid of this, and because you are just out of sync. And I would find somebody who can help get you lined up. I would do a chakra balancing if I were you. I would be asking the universe what it is that you need to do, because again, it could be a chemical imbalance situation too. So you may need to be doing something, like maybe changing your diet, or changing changing the vitamins that you take. You may need to take moringa to give you more energy, to more zest, more zeal. Again, there is a imbalanced situation that needs to be brought into place, and you are not that. And look at this. The universe is against you right now, and I'm not saying it's against you, but this is that card where, hey, they're not helping you at all. Okay, because again, this failure of alignment card is saying that things aren't, you're not where you need to be. So let's get it good. Let's get it straight. Okay, let's get connected. All right. Super. And then finally, yeah, you're not. Look at this, another one. These are reverse cards. I usually don't read reverse cards, and yet you have 3 of them. You're not aligned. You're not aligned, and you're just not loving life right now. Jimmy, get yourself somehow adjusted. Find out what's out of sync. You are out of sync. What's out of sync? Is it a health issue? Is it a vitamin deficiency? Is it whatever? But is it just your chakras? Whatever it is, get out and get to it. Figure out what it is. Okay, the shift is there. The change is there. It's ready. It's time. And you want to change, and you want to shift. I get that. So this is the time to do it. Okay. Hey, Gwyneth, let's do you next, Miss Gwyneth. It's good to see you in. What do we have for Spirit? Spirit, what do we have for Miss Gwyneth? Miss Gwyneth. All right, Miss Gwyneth, it's you're oh my goodness, Miss Gwyneth, life is there is a life lesson coming your way. It's already hitting you. What are you doing? What are you learning? Apparently, you're going through something right now, and it is a life lesson. All right, it is a life lesson, and you will overcome it. You will get beyond it. You will rise above. So you will learn. Again, there's a lesson being taught. Whatever it is, this is just a stumbling block, but you will overcome it. You will rise above, and you will grow from it. And I'm loving it, because again, the Justice card here says, pay the price now. You'll deal with the issues now, and eventually it will pay off to your advantage. So again, learn the lessons. Do not allow this lesson don't go through this and say, okay, it was just another bump in the road. No, there was a lesson here to be learned. Learn the lesson, know the lesson, and the universe is going to respond in kind and give you a gift from it. You're going to rise above. You're going to gain from this. Make sure you see this as a gaining experience, not as a setback, not as a frustration, but as a way to learn and grow. Okay, that's what I'm getting for you. Amanda, you are next, my dear. Amanda Zamora. Thanks everybody for popping in. I appreciate that. Thank you for allowing me to have that long conversation initially. If you have ever thought about connecting to your spirit guides or loved ones on your side, you need to play this video from the beginning when we are done. Amanda, your card is the 6 of Pentacles. Balance the budget, Amanda. Balance the budget and find that balance in your life. Again, this is a card that's saying that, make sure you're putting all the pieces together. Make sure that you're not overweighing one with another. Make sure that you're understanding how things are working. Make sure that you give a little attention here, but also the attention here. Don't fall prey to the fact of giving one thing so much attention that others fall away. Okay, so make sure you're paying attention to everything, because you don't want an imbalanced situation. All right. The next card is you're getting news, my dear, and this is news that's going to make you so happy. This is you're going to be, I don't know. Let's see what they're telling you. A change is coming. A change is coming that is going to shift the way in which you're doing things and what you're thinking about things. So a shift is coming your way, and you are going to be getting the news that's going to create this shift. So it could be an opportunity. Could it be a new job? Could it be a relocation? Could it be news of a family member having a baby? Could it be maybe you adding a child? Could it be a change of location? Maybe you're ready to sell, or maybe you have something to sell, or your house is for sale and you want to sell it and it's going to sell. there's something that's coming in again. Because you found the balance, you have the balance to keep the balance. Again, you're getting the news that it's going to help you to give a change. So don't be surprised if something is coming along. This may even be an opportunity, a business opportunity for you to take on a new business or to start a new business or to buy a business or something like that. There is some serious money flying around you right now, Amanda. So whatever this is, it's going to be about money and resources and a shift in your finances. Make sure that you're ready to embrace it, okay? If somebody gives you an opportunity and says, hey, invest in this, do your research, and if it makes sense, then invest. Because again, there is money flowing around you. It's circulating. It's just flying around you, and it's ready to land. So be prepared to open up and bring that money in. Again, if you thought about selling your house, or if you've been thinking about relocating, or you've been thinking about doing something drastic, this is the time to do it. The energy is right there, and you are protected because the universe has said you're in balance. The balance is there. So we're going to help you, okay? That's what I'm getting for you. Who is next? Who is next? Who would like a reading? Please let me know. Katie. Yes, indeed. Katie Bradley Meland. Absolutely. This one's for you. Oh, Katie. I love this. Katie, you are getting good news, actually. You are on your path. And I love this card because this card is reconfirming. This is not you getting on your path. You are on your path. Katie, if you were looking at wondering, am I doing the right thing? Am I headed the right way? Yes, you are. You are headed in the right direction. I'm loving this, and stay strong, stay resolute, because this is your household, your happiness, your family. So whatever has been happening around the household and family, it is in the best interest of the family. So keep moving forward with that. Keep embracing it, and you're going to get the sign of, again, that something is coming in that's going to tell you, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, I am on the right path. So, Katie, you're in a good space. Keep moving forward. Keep positive, and do not let anybody distract you from what you know you need to do and want to do. Okay, you have a good. Again, your focus is right. All right, keep going forward. Ray Lopez, you are next, my dear. What do we have for Ray Lopez? All right, Ray. Oh, Lord, Ray. Ray. Can we talk? Can we talk? I'm seeing a Nine of Swords. Ray, what's happening? What happened there? Something, I feel you're kind of a little bit flustered right now, a little overwhelmed, a little, just like it's a little, you feel like things are coming at you too much, or so many things are coming at you. And it's like, damn, what is this? What is that energy? Okay. I'm feeling like just, and I'm getting a feeling like you're not, again, are you not resting well? Is it a rest situation too? Because something's just kind of eating away at you. And it's kind of worrying you. Okay. Ray, talk to folks, my dear. Okay. Talk to folks, get advice. And this is the card that's going to confirm to you that, again, that you're on the right path. You're doing the right thing, because again, your concerns, and you're worried, but no, come on, you're doing the right thing. Talk to people anytime you need to get that reassurance, do that reassurance. Okay. Because this is that counseling card, that card of talking to a mentor, finding somebody who can walk you through this. Okay. And yeah, this is the opposite. So if this was like this, Ray, I'd be saying, oh my gosh, panic. This is the opposite. This is no pain here. This is all positive moving forward. Okay. So be glad that this card is an opposite. It's the reverse. And you're going to move forward with this, Ray. Continue to move forward. Don't be distracted. Change is good. Look at this. This is the change. The change is good. And you brought the change. You started the school. So you brought the change. Know that you're moving forward with this change is a good thing, okay? Because the universe wouldn't throw that card at you if it wasn't. And look at this. Again, you're putting away all the negative sides. The negative swords are going away. You are bringing an end. And it's funny. Look at this. This is what you were thinking, and yet this is what the universe is telling you. They're telling you it's the opposite. You are putting away the swords. You are not having to deal with this. It's all just a concern because it's here. So Ray, I'm gonna sing this to you, my dear. Let it go, let it go. I haven't sung it in a while. There you go. That one's for Ray. I love it. Great energy, Ray. Thank you for sharing that with us. Let's see who is next. Kelly Dix. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, answered through you, Katie's reading. Thank you. Oh, so Kelly Dix. Thank you, Kelly, for letting me know that. Because, okay, I was going to read for you, Kelly, but I looks like I apparently did. And that's good. Chris and Liz. Yes, Chris and Liz, I will read for you next. Absolutely. And again, folks, if you want a reading, let me know. All right. Chris and Liz. Chris, focus, my dear, focus. You are all over the place. Is this a paralysis by analysis situation because you're all over the place and I don't want to go there, I don't want to there, I don't want to, whatever it is, my dear, focus, focus, and you will find what it is you're looking for, okay? Stop worrying about what has happened in the negative. Who cares? It is in the past. This card reminds us that though we may have some broken eggs here, we got some whole eggs here. So let's focus on that good stuff. Let's focus on the things that life has brought us. Let's focus on the things that the universe has delivered for us. And let's not worry about the negative. Okay, let's move forward. This is a rear view mirror context. And when I say that, if y'all have been around a while, you know what I'm talking about. Make sure that you are not so focused on that little rear view mirror, which is so small in comparison to your windshield, that you lose what's in your windshield, okay? If you're looking in the rearview mirror, the reason why it is smaller is because you cannot change it. It is the past. It is what has already gone. So yes, you can dwell on it. You can whine about it. You can cry about it, but you ain't going to change it. The way to change it is by looking in your windshield. Your windshield is much bigger because this is how you navigate left, right, forward. It's all from here, not from that rearview mirror. So when you're moving forward and not slipping backwards, you don't need that rearview mirror except for an idea of where you've been and what you did. Move forward, focus on that big windshield, and that windshield is going to help you move forward. So please get out of that energy and give yourself an opportunity to move forward, okay? Michelle and then Kathleen, please remind me of those two names so I can do that. So Michelle first, let's see what we got for Michelle Harris. All righty, Michelle. Michelle, the universe is visiting on you, and they're going to bring you a change. They're going to be bringing you a change. Now, do not be afraid of the change, okay? Change itself is never necessarily a bad thing. It's what you do with that change, okay? So now, Michelle, that I've told you a change is coming, the universe is bringing you a change. What I'm asking you to do is, as the change starts coming, as you sense the change, make sure that you find out how you can use it to your advantage, okay? If it's a situation where, okay, the rent is going up, or the mortgage is going up, that's the change that's out of your control. You cannot control that. However, now it gave me the impetus to say, do I stay here or do I move on? Do I stay here? Do I move on? Do I go from renting to owning? You know, again, it's an opportunity versus an obstacle. The change is coming. Will it be an obstacle? And will you see it as that and crawl into a ball and surrender? Or will you see it as an opportunity and you take it and move forward? So again, change is coming. Be prepared for that change. I love this. Spin the wheel. Make sure that you tell the universe, I want something big. Make it go bigger. Make the change even better so where you gain from it. Because when you spin that wheel, the wheel of fortune delivers. And when it does, it's going to put you right back on your path. So Michelle, you're getting redirected back to your path. You're getting redirected back to what makes you, again, that whole and healthy person. And I'm telling you, you're going to get back to your path. I'm loving it. It's my daughter is refusing school. You know what? That's you can't own that. You got to make sure that you navigate, you nudge. But reality is that, again, let them be them, and they'll have to pay their consequences down the road. And I know it's not easy. I totally get that because I have some kids who did not embrace education. And you know that my spouse is a physician. I'm an attorney. I have the engineering behind me. Education is our thing. And yet we have kids who did not embrace the education. So I totally get that. Kathleen, you are next. Let's see what you got for Kathleen. Again, blessings to everybody. Thank you so much for being in. Again, if you've ever wanted to communicate with your spirit guides, you ever want to hear about spirit guides, watch this from the beginning, because again, the first 50 minutes was all about spirit guides connecting to the other side and a way in which that we live, work, and we move in life, okay, through life. Kathleen, you are next. All right. Oh, Kathleen. Let me look at two other cards before I show you this, okay? Okay, Kathleen, there's frustration at home. There is some frustration at home, and it's around a gentleman who is obstinate, hard-headed, and is determined that they're right, okay? And this person is plucking your last nerve, and you're like, okay, I'm not a happy camper. I'm not a happy camper. Okay. All right. And so it's like there has to be a compromise. There has to be a conversation. And this person has to understand that there's not only one way to do things. There's not only one way to think about things. There are more than one ways, but there has to also be some planning. Kathleen, there has to be a change in your household. And it has to be, there needs to be, again, whoever this obstinate person is, they've got to understand that it's not just their way, and that they have got to understand that there has to be some changes and some conciliation. The point is they've got to give a little bit. They got to give a little, get a little bit. Okay, so and it's interesting because I'm not picking up husband in this. Okay, so I'm picking up a child, be it son-in-law, something like that. And so I don't know if you live in multi-generational housing or whatever, but I'm getting, there's a feeling of again, there's like a son-in-law in the home, or if not in your home, then you're connected to their home in some way. And so there's like a connection, but it is a connection that is it's problematic. And so there has to be a discussion on how y'all can live together and how this can work, or if it's time for maybe this not to work any longer in the way in which it is, and maybe it morphs. I do not know. That's not a choice for me to make, but I'm telling you that there is a conversation to be had. So I don't know if this resonates with you, but that's the energy I'm picking up. And so and with only 3 cards, there's only so much there, but there's a conversation to be had. Okay. And it's interesting. I love this because the conversation, and I drew one more for you. The conversation is going to be very instructive. Okay. It's going to be very instructive, and they're going to be a bit surprised. It's like, for some reason, it's like, hello, it's obvious, but yet they didn't see it. So maybe, again, it's the conversation itself that can help get through the situation and make me bring about change. All right. That's what I'm getting for you. Let's see who was next. Natalie, and then Harley. Remind me of those names in that order. Okay. Natalie, you are next, and then Harley. Natalie, I have to change decks for you. I'm told that you needed a change. Aren't you special? Aren't you special? Here we go. Let's go to the next. I use 2 decks specifically. One is my go-to deck that I use all the time. And then the second is kind of like a contrary deck, or a deck that gives confirmation. And this deck is the same artist, and they're very strong. There's 3. I have all 3 or all 4 of his decks, actually. I think this is the last deck, which I have not even opened yet. I bought it and I have not opened yet, but this is his last deck. And so I'm looking forward to opening it, but I have not wanted to add anything to my plate right now because I got so darn much on the plate. So I haven't added it. So we're back to what? Natalie, right? Natalie. Yes. Okay. Natalie. Let's see. Natalie. All right, Natalie. Nope. No. What was that? Okay. Sorry. Natalie, okay, Natalie, I'm not drawing a card for you because even though I was told to change decks, I'm picking up real estate. What's the story with real estate? Are you having issues at the house? Are you having issues? Are you looking at maybe moving? Because I see a move in front of you, and I see. So are you buying a house? Are you looking at buying a house? Are you concerned about whether you should buy a house? There's something about real estate right there in front of me, and it's showing it. And I'm seeing this house, and I'm seeing a relo, and I'm seeing you very much happier than you were. So I don't know if you're not happy where you are, or you're stagnant where you are, if you want change. But I'm seeing a change in location. So don't be surprised if you're renting. Don't be surprised if you rent someplace else, or if you're looking to buy, you buy. But there is a shift in that, a change coming for sure. And so that it's like blaring. It's so glaring. Glaring. It's right in front of me. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Well, Natalie, don't just like to make it happen. The energy is here. The energy, and again, it wasn't even the cards. I'm throwing the cards up. Like, whatever. The cards had nothing to do with it. Spirit's like telling you this is their turn. This is time. And Natalie, if you haven't owned a house yet, if you haven't bought a home yet, make sure you check into new homeowners programs that are wonderful, and they help you to get into a home with much less down, and they help you to prepare for budgeting and so forth. And so, and they even sometimes will have programs where they cover the first part of your down payment, And if you're there for 2 or 3 years, then they forgive that down payment. So it's like a gift to you. But I do see you. I see it's time for you to start making more than just a like to, but making it happen. Okay, so I see a permanent home in your future very soon. Things are going to fall into place. Don't be surprised if also maybe it's somebody you know who does like an owner financing situation. That would be nice as well. But let's do that. Okay. Hey, Kelly Dix, take care. All right. Thank you so much as well. Love it. Next was Harley, right? And then Denise, you're after Harley. Okay. Kelly Dix. Kelly Dix. Yes. And then Harley. And Denise. Harley. Harley. Okay. Harley, why are you questioning your strength? Okay, this card was in the upside. It was reversed. So it's like, okay, you're feeling not strong. Why are you feeling not strong? Harley, you are strong. You are determined. You are somebody who, once you focus, you get to it. So Harley, do not question your strength. Do not question your endurance. Only question the fact of, is it, how do I attack this problem? How do I attack these issues? How do I move forward? That's the question you should ask. Never question the strength. You are strong. You are determined. You need no one to tell you who you are and where you've been, because you've been there. Okay. So, my dear, be strong, be determined. And you know what? Look at this. You got the world coming at you. You got lots of stuff happening around you. Look at the volcano back there. Look at this. But you know what? You're just moving through it because you're like, you know what? I got this. I got this. So Harley, regain that strength. Believe in your strength. Believe in your ability. Believe in your determination. The universe gave you a gift when you came into this world, and that gift is strength and determination. Use them to your advantage. Do not question that. Just keep pushing forward. Put your head down, push forward and keep moving, because what's in front of you, look at this. And you may have to cut some folks, and I'm talking cut as in, slice them out of your life and say, you know what, you need to go, this needs to go. Be prepared to make the hard choices and tell the people that need to know it exactly what they need to know, because you can do that. But you need to do that as you move forward, and then the celebration comes. If this card was in this way, I would be like, I'd be crying for you, because this would not be good. This is a hangman. No, when this comes like this, it's celebration time. So again, do that, Harley, as you push forward, as you tell people, hey, there's certain people who need to hear some things, and you need to tell them, and you know what I'm talking about. And you will be glad that you did. Okay. And actually they will be glad, because again, it shifts the whole dynamic of the relationship. Okay. Denise, you are next, my dear. Let's see what we have for Denise. If there's anybody else here who would like a reading, please let me know. And again, we're doing 3 quick cards today. We're not doing anything, questions or any of those things. We're giving you whatever spirit needs you to hear today. Denise, my first card for you, 10 of Cups. Denise, you are bringing into a new energy, a new feeling of happiness and joy that you have not felt in a long time. Now, you have been feeling okay, but I'm telling you, you're entering a whole new space of a higher level of happiness and joy. It's interesting here because the questions have been answered. Whatever you've been looking for, whatever direction you've been wanting, you've been asking, and the questions have been answered for you. So already. So again, that's helping you to make way for what's coming toward you. But you're moving into a much better time. And look at this. There's that new happiness. So again, this is the Ace of Cups. That Ace of Cups is that new happiness, that new beginning, new happening. So buckle up and enjoy what is in front of you. This is a new positive energy for you. A time where for the next little bit of time, whatever you want to make happen, you make happen. You make it happen. You set things in motion, and the universe is smiling on you to help you make them come to reality. Okay, KK, you are next. KK, we got a 6 of Pentacles, KK. 6 of Pentacles, find the balance in your life, KK. What's out of balance? Why is your life out of balance? Find the balance. Make sure that you are spending enough time with different people. Make sure that you are giving the right attention. Make sure you're not overspending in some ways. Make sure you're not spending too much time with some person versus another. Make sure you're not also focused on some of the negative versus the positive. Again, find the balance, because you're kind of out of balance with that. And it's interesting because this card is the upside down of planning. Okay, so again, part of it is you're kind of navigating. Life is kind of sped up for you, and you're navigating from one thing to the next because you're reacting. You need to stop reacting and start planning. Stop reacting to things and start planning and navigating the way forward. Okay. And you will be fine. You will be absolutely fine. And look at this. There's that King of Cups, and that King of Cups is on water. See how his whole throne is on the water and it's moving around, and he's okay with it. Again, be prepared for the change. Let the change happen. Again, make sure that you're planning, you're navigating, and you're moving forward. Stop letting things push you around like this. Again, be the king and say, you know what? I'm going with it. I'm going to make the change happen. I'm going to be responsive to the change, and I'm going to benefit from this change. Okay. Let it go. Let it go. Let go of the negative. Let go of the energies that are holding you back. Move forward. Okay. That's what I'm getting for you. T. Lynn. This is for you. T. Lynn. T. Lynn reminds me of Loretta Lynn, which is my favorite singer, Miss Coal Miner daughter herself. I love that woman, and I love her music. So T. Lynn, what a wonderful name. Oh, man. Let's see what we got here. Conflict. Conflict. Get over the conflict. Why are you letting other people draw you into a conflict? Do not do this. If you're not in one right now, be careful, because one is coming your way, and do not get into it. Don't allow them to draw you into the conflict. You do not need to go there, okay? You have enough on your plate. You don't need somebody else's mess coming to you. You have enough already, okay? So Miss Lynn, do not allow somebody else's mess to wind up on your plate, all right? And again, they're coming at you. They're coming at you. And everybody wants you to take their side. Oh, this person. No, stay out of it. Say, you know what? It's not my problem. It's not my fight. I ain't getting into it. It's not my business. Ain't my business. Okay? Ain't my business. And when you do that, don't be surprised. You could be a happier person, a very, 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 very happy person. Okay, with that. So again, stay out of the conflict that's right in front of you. It may already be upon you. Make sure that have a great day, and you do as well, Natalie. Make sure that you do not do not be drawn into somebody else's conflict. It will not end well for you. Letty, you are next, my dear. Letty, keep moving forward, Letty. Keep moving forward. The end is in sight. And so know that whatever you've been wanting, whatever you've been working for, it is coming to an end soon. And so keep pushing forward. Keep your focus on the end, okay? Keep your focus on the destination. Don't get so sidetracked with when, what, who, where, why. No, just focus on the destination, all right? There are some issues at home that probably because of some of some of the energies around what's happening, it kind of weighs on you. So do not let it, again, this is the warning, do not let it get to you and create a family divide, okay? Again, just keep focusing on getting through this, and you will be fine. And ultimately, look at this. You're going to have that 10 of Cups moment, which again is that happy moment, that happier. And this is a transition for you. This is transitioning. Once you get to the destination, the transition is into a happier time, a more mellow time, a time where you start seeing things that make you very happy, okay? So that's what's in front of you. Is there anybody next before I head out? Speak now or forever hold your peace. You are welcome, Letty. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, with that said, I am going to pop off of here. I've had an hour and a half. There you go. And it's been a good hour and a half. Again, if you have ever wanted to talk to your spirit guides, talk to loved ones on the other side, the veil is very thin right now. Our world's vibration level is high energy-wise, and this is the domain in which they live very high, the energies of the spirits. And so we are right there. We are right there. That veil is there. So reach out, talk to, yes, Brittany, I'll get you one before I head. Reach out and speak to them. Ask them to come in, ask your spirit guides to give you some helping hands. All right. And don't be surprised if they do. Talk to your loved ones on the other side and listen for them. If they do, again, this is not Hollywood. This is reality. So they may not speak to you and appear in front of you. They may just speak to you. They may just appear. They may send you visuals. They may give you a taste, a smell, a sense. They may play a song on the radio. They may pop something up on TV. However they do it, however they used to do it, however they come through, they will come through. Be open to receiving the messages, okay? And again, we are at that point where we are very high vibrational. So if you open up your mind, your heart, and your soul, they will come through. When you ask a question of them, talk to them like I'm talking to you. Ask and then sit back and receive, okay? Don't be surprised if it's in a dream at night. You wake up and say, wow, that was an interesting dream. I felt like you didn't feel like it. You actually did. You know, it's one of those things like, I felt like I talked to my dad. No, you talked to your dad. It wasn't just felt like you did. You know, I talked to whatever. It's, again, go with it, all right? So take the time and do that. This is the perfect time for that. Brittany, you, my dear, are last in line, but saving the best for last. Brittany, get some rest, my dear. Get some rest. You need the rest, Brittany. I know other things are going on, and I know you got a new baby who is probably keeping you up, but you need to get rest for yourself. If you're not a healthy mom, and if you're not a healthy Brittany, then you're not helping anyone. Okay. So keep yourself healthy, my dear. Please do that. All right. And I love this. If you need advice, if you need to talk to somebody, do so. Don't just hold it in. Talk to people, have conversations with them. Make sure that you are you're giving yourself a mental wellness day. So if you're having a bit of a crisis, share that with somebody. You're not dumping on them. You're just asking them to take it in a little bit to help you. Okay. Brittany. And again, it's going to make a happier home. If you are talking to people and getting the things, getting beyond this, if you're getting the sleep you need, if you're talking to people and experiencing things and letting them be part of your life, you're going to see that the home is a happier place with you. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to let you all go. Again, thank you so much for popping in. I truly appreciate it. Love, light, and blessings from me here at Sonoran Mystic Tarot to you and yours. And if you haven't seen the book or haven't had a chance to check it out, please check it out on Amazon. And if you like what you see, please do not hesitate. And I'm kind of stalling here because I'm trying to get through, but this thing wasn't working right. Anyway, if you like what you see, buy it. I would appreciate it. All right. And with that said, I'm going to let you go. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing weekend. And I'll be back again next Wednesday evening with Miss Angie, and we will be doing this again. Have a great one. Love, light, and blessings from me here at Sonoran Mystic Tarot to you and yours. And let me get back to design over here so I can. Oh, one more thing. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Miss Angie, and happy birthday to anybody and everybody who has a birthday this week or next or last week. This is for you, the happy birthday song before we leave. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. And during the weekend, while you are you're walking down your path, while you're running down your path, while you're moving down your path, let no one steal your thunder or your joy. Own your own power. And if they do, this is what you need to tell them.
Look at my face. Don't do it. No.
I love it. I love it. Have a great one, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. Again, be back next Wednesday evening and next Thursday. Have a good one.